outside.
We've had 3 players win titles already this week here in Barnsley, and one of them is Callan Rydz. His second PDC title picked up on day 2 of the action here on Wednesday, and he's played at a very consistent level right the way through
43
the Players' Championship events we've had here at the Metrodome. Chris Murphy joins me, Dan Dawson, for this one as the Riot takes on the Dutch destroyer Vincent van der Voort, who is probably one of the most consistent players at finding his way through to things like last 32s and last 16s, picking up money without really threatening to pick up titles. Seems to have done that solidly for the last couple of years. Yeah,
very experienced competitor Vincent van der Voort, perhaps living somewhat in the shadow of Michael van Gerwen in recent years. Well documented friendship that pair have, but a very, very capable player in his own right.
137.
And as you said, it was Rids that ran riot a couple of days ago, but he was almost out in the last match, surviving match darts in the last leg decider against Lisa Ashton before progressing.
96.
Yeah, Rids, a player who's starting to do things for the first time in his career, not only winning titles, but making appearances at some of the biggest TV tournaments, like the World Match Play, where he actually reached the quarterfinals.
34.
Whereas Vincent, despite the fact he hasn't won a title for well over half a decade, you always seen him at the Grand Prix and the Match Play. He's always there.
Yeah, well, he was a quarter-finalist yesterday. Second time in 5 events that he's made it that far. So he looks to take the first leg 37. In this one, but allows Rids an opportunity.
Tops it is.
86.
He drags it a little low.
So, next door.
Game shot.
And then it goes to double 5 for van der Voort to take the lead. And yeah, Dan, I think it's perfectly right. He is always there because of the point you made earlier. He's someone who gets there without doing anything 58. Spectacular, because he's so consistent in reaching last 32s, last 16s. He went through a spell earlier this season where he reached last 16 4 times on the spin.
43.
It all adds up, that money. That's what, 1,500 quid a go, isn't it? So, you know, you do that if you did last 16 of every event this week in Barnsley.
180.
As Callan pops in his first 180, you know, that's £6 grand. That's the same as making a final of one of these events. Admittedly, making a final and going out in round 1 the other 3, but even so.
Just looking through, we're in event 27. He's only failed to reach the board final this stage 6 times.
96.
Yeah, very, very consistent. You kind of expect that he should be finding himself in a final at some point. If you keep on doing this, draws are going to open up for you. You're going to have a big performance when you need it at some point. But it still just hasn't
96.
quite happened for Vincent.
It does, of course, have a handful of PDC titles to his name, although it's been
98.
7 years since his last one. That was his Euro Tour win in Austria. Hasn't been that long for Rids, has it? Just a couple of days.
5.
But he misses a couple of doubles at the end of that leg, though they're unlikely to be punished.
He's been playing so quickly this week, Callan Rids. He's making Vincent van der Voort, who for a while was the quickest man on planet darts, makes him look pedestrian.
Game shot.
Double 8 is pinned for a level game.
The man formerly known as Greased Lightning, but he had to let go of that mantle for obvious reasons.
99.
Age catches up with us all, Dan.
97.
In a special week, hasn't it? We've seen 4 9-darters now, 2 of them from Madars Razma. I mean, you commentated
100.
on the most bizarre perfect leg in the history of this game yesterday, and he's managed something rather special and unorthodox today as well, hasn't he?
Yeah. We assume, we'll have to see if we can get confirmation, that he's thrown 5 consecutive treble 19s to start a perfect leg and end it with a 156.
140.
If we're assuming, I'm going to assume that he threw each dart individually up in the air before he placed them into the trebles and then the final double.
Oh, why not? Why not?
Check out the highlights, by the way. Highlights
100.
from every Super Series event available on the PDC YouTube. The 9-darters that were streamed, Nathan Aspinall's and that Razma one from yesterday, available to watch as well. Callan Rids, the other man, of course, to have hit a 9-dart leg this week.
Just knocked 60 off. Could have put a bit of bigger chunk out of that, but it is a 1 treble finish that he's got for a breaker throw, Callan Rids. If this doesn't go, and it won't, And Rids was just walking away from the
92.
board there, throwing his arm up in the air because he knows this should be easier.
84.
It was very nearly easy enough for him, though. Just dragging low on that double top once again, like he did in the first leg. Cost him that leg. Will it cost him this one?
Game
It
shot.
will.
He made use of the marker there, Vincent van der Voort, who's just beaten Kieran Tian 6-3 to get into this
99.
board final. Before that, the Dutchman had dispatched
60.
of Darren Webster in his first match, 6-0.
Yeah, we have got one player through to the last 16 already. That's Karel Sedlacek of the Czech Republic, who's averaged almost 102, but still needed a last leg decider to beat Brett Claydon. So a big, big day for Karel Sedlacek.
Van der Voort actually averaged 100
135.
in the last match against Tian.
Oh, hang on. Michael van Gerwen was in charge against Ryan Joyce, but all of a sudden they're in a last leg decider. Could it be
128.
this week of frustration continues for MVG?
Well, Ridge has time on his side here. He looks to level up.
118. $134.
Double 8. Edging closer, needs to move across, not quite the distance he needed to move across
Game
for
check.
that match-winning dart on Wednesday. He's got the knack of doing it, hasn't he? That was the first question you asked him, wasn't it? Where were you when you threw that dart? He said Sheffield.
100.
It was certainly a long way over. In fact, you can sort of see there's a little mark where about where he was. Just over to his right, our left as we look at him there.
Yeah, I wonder what that mark is. Did he like dig up the turf where he won that tournament or something? It
60.
was definitely further than the hockey itself, wasn't it?
Mm.
Remember a Phil Taylor bullseye from a similar spot
31.
in a World Match Play final against James Wade. Dean Winstanley springs to mind as well at the match play, but yeah,
44.
some way to win from Callan Rids on Wednesday.
Yeah, a second PDC title.
100.
Picked up his first earlier on this year, and there have been signs from him in recent weeks in big stage darts that things are coming together for him.
125.
Performances in Gibraltar was absolutely magnificent.
$96.
Michael van Gerwen has inched past Ryan Joyce. Took him 17 darts to hold throw in a last leg decider. Can count himself a little
134.
fortunate, and maybe the irony is he'll have been throwing all these enormous averages all week and not getting beyond about the last 16. Maybe he can go on and claim the title today, his first
96.
ranking title of the year, while enjoying a little bit of fortune in some of his
It's
games.
his second last leg decider victory today. One
Game
against
shot.
Mark McGeaney earlier. His old friend Vincent van der Voort ahead against Callan Rids in this one. Double 19, no problem at all for the Dutch destroyer.
140.
Madas Razma back on the stream, his match just getting started against Ricky Evans over on stream 2. Paul Nicholson
100.
talking viewers through that. We will have 4 more matches here on
135.
stream 1. And then we're back tomorrow for the Women's Series. I mentioned it was Rids who ended Ashton's week at the Super Series, but she
43.
certainly got business to attend to this weekend. That second Grand Slam spot up for grabs for whoever tops the order of merit from
99.
the remaining 6 events. 3 tomorrow, 3 on Sunday. Ashton looking to join Sherrick at the Slam. And it looks like a big ask
108.
for anybody to separate those two and stop one of them at least from reaching the Alexandra Palace.
Well, he's looking for treble 9 and
87.
tops. Didn't need to go 17 and bull with Vincent not down to a finish.
You're joining me for that this time, aren't you, Dan? Not
I will.
sunning
96.
yourself in Gibraltar this time around.
First time I've been to the Women's Series, looking forward to it.
10 a.m, did they tell you
Game
that?
shot.
No, they didn't tell me that. That was my next question.
A double top for Callan Rids to tie up this match at 3 each. It's a really evenly fought contest so far.
140.
And Callan Rids is averaging 97, which is kind of what he's been doing all week, pretty much. Obviously, there's been the odd fluctuations. And I don't like to pick out low averages, but there is a
96.
bizarre game going on with two of the top performers this week. And Gabriel Clemens, who's already reached a final this week, and Nathan Aspinall, who's hit a 9-darter and playing brilliant stuff. Nathan is 4-0 up,
60.
but he's averaging 77, 9 points more than Gabriel Clemens. I don't even know, that feels like a scoreboard error to me.
85.
Are they playing in the car park?
Yeah. Is Ian White jumping out and trying to put them off every visit? I don't understand what's going on.
Well, it is possible.
97.
If you missed that, Gabriel Clemens appeared in White's peripheral vision during his match on Stream 2 earlier.
56.
White was beaten by Ryan Meikle, who in turn produced a poor display in losing out to Andrew Gilding in his next match.
Yeah, it seemed, I saw Wayne Mardle on social
100.
media earlier on. I mean, it was after the Peter Wright defeat to Gavin Carlin, where he just pointed out that there's a lot of tired-looking performances.
100.
A lot of players have played all 4 days here in Barnsley. They played a qualifier for the World Series finals the day before. Some of them came straight from Austria, from the European Championship. It's a very busy time of year. It's double 12 for Vincent. Would have
92.
put him back in front.
They can be long days, but they're not long days for many players.
That's true.
Which one of these will elongate their stay in the
32.
Barnsley Metrodome on this Friday afternoon? Double 3. He's already hit double 19 in this match, and he finds the next bed to edge ahead at 4-3. Yeah, but you're right, it is not just about the
140.
darts matches themselves, is it? For many players, it's about travelling.
Yeah, and there's an element of that and staying away and, you know.
Get lethargic, can't you,
Yes.
and get into that kind of...
But at the same, you make it a good point in that it's not a long
82.
day. If you lose in the first round, it's quite a short day. And those that are having long days are winning lots of games, which surely only builds your confidence.
96.
Yeah, Michael van Gerwen has been rampant this week, running into incredible performances. But he looks like a man who wants to stay here in Barnsley until he wins a title.
Yeah.
And that might be 3 weeks, I don't know.
Ran into Michael this morning and he said if he keeps playing like he is,
95.
then he's bound to win at some point. Now, that, as you said, the irony is he's stopped playing like he was and seems to be winning. Hasn't made it past the last 16. That's his next target, MVG, having beaten
140.
Ryan Joyce 6-5.
Well, he loses every time we put him on the streaming boards, doesn't he? So I assume if he just sees anybody with a camera, he's just going to run the other way.
Confidence building win for
134.
Michael Smith, the 6-1 success for him against Mike Kyvenhoven. We have seen in the latter
58.
stages of these events, all the players coming through the last 16 and quarters having 100 averages around that mark. So it'll be interesting to see if that continues today.
Game shot.
Callan Rids takes out double 9 and it keeps just going with the throw.
Yeah, quite a nice, friendly, you win one, I win one game here, all on throw.
3 of the 5 players already
108.
through to the last 16 have averaged more than 100. Sedlacek, Smith and Brendan Dolan, who beat Gert DeVos 6-1. 3 darts in the treble 20 bed in the opening visit for
121.
Vincent van der Voort in this one.
And look who's currently averaging 105 almost, and he's 3-0 up on one of our winners already this week. It is Jim
140.
McEwen, who is 3-0 up on Rob Cross, the European champion. Dangerous player, the Scotsman.
We saw
140.
him lose out to Martijn Kleermaker yesterday on the stream, but only after missing match darts. Ross has won the Battle of the Smiths against Jeff 6-5. Jeff can head back to Canada after that one. Heaven knows he's miserable now.
137. Game shot.
11 darter as the holds of throw continue, and that'll be a really annoying one for Callan Ridge. He's got to find a breaker throw. He was on a 4-visit leg himself, and Vincent just snatched it away before he even got a chance to look at that one treble combo finish.
$98.
Ridge up at a 3-figure average, but Vincent's just looked sort of
104.
comfortable, unflappable.
I mean, so comfortable that he's able to just think about tyres in the middle of a game. I don't know if anybody else was doing that.
177.
Brand new PDC Pro Tour streaming where we can actually see inside darts players' thoughts. This is innovative sports broadcasting, ladies and gentlemen.
We said tired, Vincent, not tyres.
Rids, not a 10 darter, but an 11.
Game shot.
A 12 will do, and we are going the distance. 10 legs in, some real top quality stuff from the pair of them. 102 average Rids, 99 average Van der Voort. But Vincent, he has held throw 5 times out of 5. Can he make it 6 out of 6? This looks like he can.
180.
What a start from the Dutch destroyer, Destructive Darts.
140.
3 treble 20s, his opening visit. Can he make it 6 out of 6? Oh, he can't. Not quite.
Well, even a couple of trebles from Callan would keep him within touching distance, but he doesn't get any, and this is Vincent's all day long. Match darts incoming for Vincent van der Voort over the next couple of visits, you feel.
140.
Yeah, lovely stuff from VVDV. Down to 41 after just 9, and in response to the 12 darter from Rids to set up this last leg decider, Vincent van der Voort might be about to seal the win in 11. And it is victory for Vincent van der Voort. Every single leg in that match going with the throw. Van der Voort just refusing to buckle on his own throw as he once again moves through to the last 16, as he so often does, this time at the expense of the winner of the tournament here a couple of days ago in Callan Ridge. The next
These two players will sense as well that there is a big opportunity to win Players' Championship 27 because some of the big hitters are gone. Some of them didn't even turn up this week. The likes of Clayton and Gerwin Price. Others have chosen not to participate today, the likes of Mervyn King. And then the others have been beaten. But one of them still remains in Michael van Gerwen, but only just. He came through 6-5 against Ryan Joyce. And he is into the last 16 now.
54.
I'll run through our other participants in the last 16 in a second. But first, let's see what Razma can do with 100 with Evans under 100. Does the QR code on his shirt stipulate that he's going to hit this? Treble 19. On this occasion, he can't find it.
28.
Does Ricky find double 8?
68.
That is such a big chance. To be halfway without reply. He's going to have a dart in the way here of this tops, but he's tall enough to go over the top of it.
52.
But he's not tall enough on the shot. And Ricky's already had 6 visits here, so what a chance it has been for Razma to take the throw away from Ricky Evans. And maybe he's getting a bit flat now with Evans taking all the chances that's coming his way. Maybe missing a couple until he finally gets the job done, but he's not being put under the pressure that he should be by the man from Latvia. I've already mentioned
134.
Ricky's season of 9 board finals without success. And we know that Razma has done better than that, because he's graced a semi-final and a quarter-final already this year. But they have another thing in common, these two. And that is that they have lost in multiple finals
82.
in these events without getting anywhere close to winning that title.
43.
4 finals for Ricky Evans, 2 for Maras Razma, where he's lost out to Max Hopp in Dublin and lost to Peter Wright in Germany.
81. 96.
Maras hasn't got anything to worry about when it comes to the World Championship because he's already there by virtue of his position in the Nordic and Baltic standings. His tour card is safe
57.
for next year because of his participation at Ali Pali. He's in the top 50 in the world, and that will remain so.
96.
Ricky's just a little bit above him in the rankings at 39 currently. That's where he's projected to be at the end of the Worlds anyway.
91.
His participation there is kind of safe right now.
92.
That was a very safe looking 92 to leave the tops. But Razma surely has got to go 19s first here. He's not going to, and I don't know why. He's going to prove me wrong. He's going to show me the way it's supposed to be done.
107.
And he almost did. Evans for 4-0. And it is 4-0. That's a double break now. And Evans is smiling. Look at this. Hey, hey, he says, I'm getting close to a last 16. You're not there yet, Ricky.
140.
I'll tell you who is there, though. Karol Sedlacek is there after beating Brett Claydon by 6 legs to 5. Same result
56.
for Ross Smith over Jeff Smith. The Smith derby goes the way of Ross. Damon Hetter has beaten Daryl Gurney. Brendan Dolan
100.
is through against Geert de Vos. And the Battle of the Rapids. Not Ricky, of course. Vincent van der Voort has beaten Callan Rids by 6 legs to 5.
134.
Over on the other stream board. Aspinall is through against Clemens. Michael Smith is through against Mike
57.
Kuyvenhoven, and he awaits the winner of this. I've mentioned Michael van Gerwen's result against Ryan Joyce.
135.
And he will face, in the last 16, Kim Huybrechts, who walloped Max Hopp by 6 legs to 0 in the board final there. But there's a huge 180 from Ricky Evans to get to double 12. How did he fit that dart in? Great stuff from Razma.
36.
It shouldn't matter. Double 6.
18.
That's a bit messy. The rhythm wasn't good. And Razma is now thinking, thank goodness I hit the 136. But did Evans miss because of the pressure that was put on by Maras Razma?
Game shot.
There it is, a little bit of spirit from him. He's not going to give up. But he should be 5-0 down. Is it a mental battle for Ricky Evans? Because he knows exactly what he's done this season. When you're constantly getting the same results,
120.
and you're not getting to that last 16, you're not making the quarter-final or the semi or a final or winning, you know
100.
what you've done. He knows he hasn't made a last 16. He won't have a better chance. No disrespect to Maras Razma, but he's not playing Peter Wright in top form
133.
in the last 32 match here. He's not playing Gerwin Price. And he's got a 4-leg jump as well.
100.
I get asked a lot by people because they know I've seen a lot of darts in my career as a player and as a pundit and commentator.
136.
Oh, what's your best story about such and such? Well, if you ask me what my best story is about
97.
Ricky Evans, I've got a few with him. Spent a bit of time with him over the course of time. There's a bit of a disagreement here.
Treble 19, 19, treble 20.
Ricky hasn't got a clue what's going on.
2 singles.
I think there may be a dispute as to what was hit.
If you ask what you're saying, I'll take it off here. Okay, we'll go 98.
I think it's all been straightened out. What we're going to do is just check
60.
what he needs left. I'm just going to go to the Dart Connect system just to see what he's got, because our referee Luke has got the best position to find out.
96.
Looks like he's got 87. That confirms it. Bullseye.
62.
Chance for Evans. He says come on to himself. He fancies this. And that first start, just blocking the
48.
57, did not help his cause. Razma slowing the pace down, and surely Ricky Evans would have expected this. Double 4. He's not going to play at Ricky's pace,
Game
but
shot.
he is going to halve the gap. 6 legs down. It should have been 5-1. Ricky's got to hit the gas once again.
140.
I was just about to tell you my one Ricky Evans story that sticks in my mind more than anything else. I remember playing him in Crawley once. And we were involved in a very good game, and he left himself 144. And before
137.
I had passed him on my way back from the board, he hit the 144 before I'd passed him. That's how fast he was.
95.
And before I could even be dejected about losing the match, I just had to laugh. He is one of the fastest players that I've ever played against. He's up there with MVG, Klaassen, and some others.
139.
But here is a player very similar to Andy the Pieman Smith. He hasn't hurt a fly in his life.
134.
He hasn't got any enemies in the world. He's a lovely lad. And he does fly the flag for England and for Northants very well. He's very proud of where he's from. And they're very proud of him.
140.
They'd be even more proud of him if he takes this. 57. Bull. From the angle. Oh, it's close.
107.
Very close. Again, the pace is slowed. Accuracy from Razma. Is he going to close the gap to 1? He should. But
45.
doesn't. He's wondering how that didn't go into the tops. Evans is thinking, thank goodness it didn't. 88. And it's
Game
now
shot.
5-2. I think it's a very fair result so far. But Evans really does fancy a place in the last 16 now. And we have another person in the last 16 by the name of Danny Baggish. The king of brinkmanship. Has beaten Andrew Gilding by 6 legs to 2 to
56.
win board 11. And he's going to take on either
93.
Florian Hempel or Scott Waits. This has got such an open nature about Players' Championship 27. Loving it so far today. Not that I don't like when the heavyweights win,
127.
but days like today, you just think, who could possibly take this? It might be Rob Cross getting a second consecutive Players' Championship win.
134.
But he's having to work so hard right now against Jim McEwen. It's 4 each on board number 6. Oh, that's really unfortunate
76.
for Matas Razma. That's 57 on the floor, but that was 51% bounce out and 49% Seisel.
58.
Hasn't spent a great deal of time up on that treble 20 bed. He's trying the juggling act again. And let me say this out loud, because you shouldn't try that at home. It's a dangerous thing to do if you don't know what you're doing. I've seen Ricky Evans toss a dart in the air, grasp it out of the air, then hit a bullseye.
100.
That is the equivalent of a bullseye in that spot, because he's left 36 for the match. And he's going to get 3 darts for it. The 3 maximums from him have all been spectacular.
129.
But this is for the first time in the year to make the last 16. And he has. Congratulations, Ricky. Matas Razma will live to fight another day, but not today. He is out, and Ricky Evans goes forth to play against the person that denied him a World Youth crown, Michael Smith. We're going to take a short break, but when we come back, we will have more action for you, and it will come from the last 16.